I just want to show you how my Atlantic Giant pumpkins are getting on. It is a little bit early to actually put them in, but I've got to because they're actually too big and they desperately need to go in now. It's, what is it, the 9th of June? No, sorry, 9th of May. So really I shouldn't technically put them in till the beginning of June, but I'm going to put them under cover, so hopefully if we do get a little frost then they'll be fine. It's just that they need to go in because I have little pumpkins. I've got 4 here to plant, which I'm going to show you, but 3 of them have got little pumpkins growing on them. They're very small, but they're going to get bigger and bigger. But I'm just going to show you how I plant them and the cover that goes over the top. Now, because I want these to get really, really big, because I am determined to grow a very large one this year, I'm going to dig a nice big hole. You can see we've had rain, but it hasn't gone anywhere. I mean, it's barely touched the surface. But never mind, I'm sure it'll all come at once. Alright, so I'll dig a nice big hole. The pumpkin itself is in about a 6-inch pot at the moment. So dig a nice big hole for it. And because I want it to get lots of goodness in, I'm going to add some manure. So just shove a lovely amount of manure in the bottom. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to give it a water. Now I'm going to put a nice lot of water in here, just because I want it to, the soil is so dry, and I think that should do. And it will, the manure will sort of keep the water in there, and it will give the plant a good start. Now, once that's drained through, then I'm going to put the pumpkin in. Now, because these have started to trail already, what I'm going to do is I'm going to point them in, just so that they sort of train their way across the bed. So be very careful when you take it out, because you don't want to disturb your little baby one. You can see lots of other flowers here which actually haven't opened yet, but they don't have anything down the bottom, so they won't produce pumpkins, but they're very important to help pollinate the ones that do. So you can see the roots coming through the bottom, so they really do need to go out. But personally, I would wait until your last frost day, unless of course you're going to put them under cover. So we'll plonk him in like that, and then we'll just feed the soil back round it. Be very, very careful not to disturb any of the fruits that have started to set already. Okay, so just bring all of that back round, push it down, and then we will give it another water, because you put the soil in and there's always sort of air pockets in there, and the soil, the watering of the soil fills in all those little gaps, so I'll give it another good water. And make sure that what you do then is you put the stick in where you've planted it, so you know that when it trails off, where that stick is, you know that's where the root is, and that's where you have to water it. Now, what I would suggest, because I'm putting fleece over the top of these, I'm going to put a plastic bottle over the top so that the stick won't pierce the fleece. So I'll pop that on there, and also once the fleece is gone, it will actually keep the birds from having a little feast. So I'll stick that in, and I'll get on with doing the other 3. Right, well, I've got all those 4 in, and being a little paranoid as I am about slugs and snails, I've put a few slug pellets around them. The plants are most probably big enough for the slugs and snails not to bother with them, but just in case, because we never know. Anyway, so now I'm going to cover them. Now, if you do have one of these polytunnels, or you know, the ones that open up and then you can collapse down flat, then by all means use those. They're very, very good. They're quite expensive though, and I'm always looking for ways of getting things cheap or free, as it were. Now, I had 2 small greenhouses, and then I had, if you look back at the previous videos, there was one where I had to replace the cover quite a walk-in one. obviously now I've got my lovely new greenhouse, which I've had for over a year now, I don't need the other greenhouse. So I threw away the outside because I didn't need it, but kept all the poles because I thought, oh, they'll come in handy one day. And I've just made, I've just put a load of the pipes together, and I've made basically a little sort of table-y type thing, and I'm going to put some fleece over the top of that, and then this will all break down in the you know, in sort of about a month's time, and then I can put it away and then get it out again next year. So I thought, so I finally used them. So I've got, it's quite big here, this one, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to put it over, I've put legs on it as well, you'll see in a minute, but oh gosh, but I've put legs on it, so it's quite tall off of the ground, so it will even be tall enough to put the sweet corn under. I've got quite a few of them at home, so I will be bringing them up every now and then until June, and putting the vegetables under them. But I'm just going to put this over the top, and then I've just got some cheap fleece which I will put over the top of that, and hopefully that will protect them. So I'll just show you, you'll be able to see now the big thing that I'm going to put over the pumpkins. Right, well here it is. It was a bit longer, but I realised it was actually too long for the bed. So it's just, the pumpkins are just inside the legs, so I'm just going to push it down so it doesn't go wandering off anywhere. Like that, so it's nice and sturdy. They've got an awful lot of room left to grow. So I'll just get the fleece and I'll just put that over the top as well. Right, well, not the sort of thing you want to do on a windy day, or an extra pair of hands would be handy. I've just put it, because the frame's quite tall, I've put one bit over and then I've doubled it back on itself to cover the other side. So make sure you've covered both sides, or all the sides as well as the top, because the frost will still sort of get in if the sides aren't covered. You need to put, around the bottom, I don't know, I'm not sure if you can see, but I've put things to hold it there. I've put old branches that I had over in one corner. You need something to weight it down, otherwise it will fly all over the place. If you do have to do it in two sections, it would be easier to, once you've done one section, is to sort of gaffer tape it or sticky tape it. Gaffer tape is good because that would kind of hold it there. I had to twisty it, but hopefully that'll be okay. It's got a bit of movement in it. It looks a bit like a tent. I don't do camping, horrible. So hopefully it will be all right. And then once 1st of June appears, then I can take it all off. But that's it. If you want to fleece your stuff and get it out a bit earlier, then do. But if it's not quite big enough, then keep it inside or in a protected area until your frost date has gone. Okay, your last frost date. Well, I hope you found that useful, and I will keep you up to date with how the pumpkins are doing. Now I've got to get and do some more weeding as usual. But I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.